Yeah. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back to the Bhagavad Gita Study Circle. I mean, although we call it as Bhagavad Gita Study Circle, right now we are actually discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, we have completed the first chapter in the first canto, and we have now started the second chapter, the second canto. So there are some very beautiful things that we have already discussed. There are some nice things that we have been discussing in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And I don't know, today it also happens to be Shivaratri. I don't know if there is a Shivaratri over there also. Can you confirm? Is the Shivaratri there today? Divik, are you celebrating Shivaratri there?
Yeah, it is Shivratri is there, but as such we are not celebrating.
Right. But anyway, today, India, we have Shivaratri, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great, wonderful. So we'll also try to discuss a little bit about Lord Shiva and how exactly his form is and all of that. So that's very interesting, actually. Okay, so we'll understand a little bit of Lord Shiva also because since it is Shivaratri. Okay, Hare Krishna Rani, thank you so much for joining on YouTube. Okay, so let's have some very nice discussion. Let's begin with the pranam mantras. It will all be displayed on the screen. So kindly join your palms and chant along with me the pranam mantras. Let's dedicate this session to His Divine Grace, Abhay Chandraravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON and my beloved spiritual master. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं मुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः हरे कृष्ण Yeah. So let's understand a little bit about what happened in the previous session. A quick recap. So, in the previous session, we had briefly touched upon how Parikshit had actually asked some very important fundamental questions, and it led to Shukdev Goswami answering a few things. But before he actually answered, Shukdev Goswami actually began with his own prayers. So Shukdev Goswami, before he started speaking the Srimad Bhagavatam, he said, okay, let me offer my prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And then he actually prayed, my Lord, please give me that strength. Please give me that ability to speak. So to speak, that too something like Srimad Bhagavatam, it requires the blessings of Krishna. Without his blessings, we cannot speak. So Shukdev Goswami did a very right thing. And that is why even we, when we start the session, we offer our prayers. Why? Because so that we also get that ability to speak and also to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise, it is just not possible. So we had covered until the fourth chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And now we are going to discuss fifth and sixth, briefly touched upon, because now there are a lot of philosophical things that will come, a lot of technicalities will start. And here in this chapter, Narada Muni is speaking. So Shukadeva Goswami is now narrating a story basically. He's speaking to Parikshit and he's saying that once upon a time, Narada had a similar question like you, O Parikshit. Right? Because Parikshit had asked about creation and how everything begins. So Shukadeva Goswami is saying, yes, a very similar question was asked previously by Narada to Brahma. So in this chapter, Narada is asking some fundamental questions. He's actually asking about 5 or 6 questions to Brahma as to how is this universe created, who is the sustainer, who are you reporting to, how everything is under control, what are the different constituents of this universe. So like that he has asked multiple questions to Brahma, and Brahma is going to answer them. So here when Narada is asking, he is telling, oh my dear father. Who is the father? The father is Brahma. Narada is the Manasa Putra of Brahma. So now Narada, when he asked this question to Father Brahma, so he is saying that, oh, my dear father, you have created so many things in the past, you have created so many things in the future already, and then you are also creating something in the present. So when all this is actually happening, it's like a walnut. You have captured the whole creation like a walnut in your hand. Walnut. For Brahma, this whole universe like a walnut. So Narada is beautifully giving this comparison that you are holding this whole universe just like a walnut in your hand. And then he continues to ask a lot of things. What is this mystery? That the creation is, the whole universe is created and then it's again wound up after some time. How this is all happening? So this is the question of Narada. This spider, when it weaves the web, the cobweb, it creates this cobweb and then slowly the same spider, it winds up that cobweb by taking all the that material, that web material in his mouth. So he creates and the spider takes it away. So similarly, Narada is asking, oh Brahma, this world is created, this whole universe is created, and then it is again taken back. How is this all possible? Are you the creator? Are you the supreme? Or is there anyone above you? This is also a question. And now Brahma very beautifully starts explaining. He explains that, oh Narada, you have asked these questions not only for the benefit of everyone, but also for my own benefit. So Brahma is saying it's good because now with this question, you are actually reminding me of the beautiful pastimes of the Lord. You are actually reminding me of Krishna. So Brahma is also very happy with these questions. And you see, Brahma very clearly is now stating and telling Narada that, oh Narada, don't be under this illusion that I am the creator. No, I am not the creator. I myself, I have a creator. I am only a secondary creator. But there is a primary creator, and that is Lord Narayana. So I am definitely a creator within this universe, but I get my power and I also report to the Supreme Lord Narayana. So only through his blessing I am able to create everything. Now that is why we also are under the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Our parampara in ISKCON begins from where? It begins from Brahmaji. And why we follow Brahmaji? Because Brahmaji is having the right attitude. The right attitude that I am a servant of Krishna. That's why we are Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. We are in the lineage of Brahma. And since Brahmaji has said that yes, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we also accept that yes, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it is so important for all of us to understand Brahma. And Brahma, is describing, is telling that the Supreme Lord, although he is very, very old, he is the origin of everything. Ishvaraha Paramaha Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindaha Sarva Karana Karanam. What is he saying? Ishvaraha Paramaha Krishna, the supreme, the very first controller is Krishna. And he is what? Cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam. So even Brahma's cause is Krishna. So Brahmaji is admitting here. And he's how? He's ever fresh. He's Adi Purusha, but still he's like a young boy. Krishna is very, very beautiful. There was this one king during Krishna's time, and I forgot that king's name. And he had a daughter called Usha. And Usha had a very dear friend called Chitralekha. So this Usha, what happened was she happens to be in love with someone that she saw in a dream. Just see how wonderful it is. Usha saw some beautiful person, a very handsome person, in her dream. And Parvati had visited the palace of Usha and had told her just the day before that tomorrow morning you will get a dream like this. And whoever comes in your dream tomorrow morning will be your husband. You have to marry him. So, and exactly like Parvati had told, Usha got a dream that of a beautiful person. And then she was thinking, oh my God, it is so wonderful. Her whole bodily expression changed. Her whole, mood, her eyes lit up. When she woke up in the morning, she was thinking about this person. Oh, it's such a beautiful person. Who is this? Where can I find him? And then Chitralekha, her friend, she was also surprised to see Usha. Oh, what's happening? You look so different today. You are so happy and excited. What happened? Tell me. Then Usha says, see, this is what has happened. I saw a person in a dream and he's supposed to be my husband. And I don't know who is he. I just saw him. And Chitralekha. Chitralekha, her name is Chitralekha. She's a very expert painter and artist. Just by description, she would actually paint. Like today, also many times we see, right, when the police has this people to draw the sketches. Sketchers will be there with the police. When somebody does a crime and there is a witness will go and tell, oh no, the person was looking like this, his eyes were like this, nose was like this, and the sketcher will exactly draw and give an idea to the police that, oh, this person, the criminal looks like this. So you can imagine if today's sketches are like this. Chitralekha had divine knowledge about art. She could draw anybody in the universe. And then Chitralekha, she thought, okay, tell me how is this person? Oh, he was the most beautiful, handsome person. Usha said that he is the very, very beautiful person. When she says that, oh, it's a very beautiful person, then Chitralekha, with her artistry skills, she draws Krishna's image. And then when Usha sees the image of Krishna, she actually, she's so attracted to the image of Krishna. She says, he's so beautiful. I would actually want to marry him, but then he's not a person. And Parvati has told me to marry only that person whom I have seen. He is definitely very, very beautiful. He's the most beautiful. He is more beautiful than the person that I saw in my dream, but I cannot marry him. So then Chitralekha goes ahead and then she draws a painting of Pradyumna, who is the son of Krishna. And then she says, yes, he's also so beautiful. He's so wonderful, but he's still not the same person I saw. Then Chitralekha draws the image of Aniruddha. Aniruddha is the son of Pradyumna, a grandson of Krishna. Aniruddha. And when Aniruddha's image was there, Usha immediately got excited. She said, "Oh, this is so amazing. He's the one. He's the one I saw. Who is he? Tell me." And then Chitralekha says, "He is Aniruddha. He is the grandson of Krishna." Acha, so this is the person I want to marry. Can you imagine? And Chitralekha, she had a divine ability, Divya Shakti, that she could fly, immediately get transported to Dwarka. And Aniruddha there in Dwarka is actually sleeping. And in the middle of the night, Chitralekha, she just, wraps him in that blanket and brings him to the quarters of Usha. Can you imagine in the middle of the night? So Anuruddha is now transported from Dwarka to this place here where Usha was residing, to Usha's palace. And then Usha is so mesmerized to see that sleeping Aniruddha. And Aniruddha, when he wakes up, he is completely flabbergasted. Hey, what's happening? I slept in Dwarka and I'm somewhere else. I'm not in my palace. So even he got confused. And then when he sees Usha, he also got attracted to Usha. And then Usha explains everything, that this is what there was a forecast by Parvati Devi, and I saw you in the dream, and I'm supposed to marry you. And both of them actually, they got attracted to each other, Aniruddha and Usha, both of them. And now the attraction is so intense, Aniruddha, he forgot Dwarka and he started staying here in the quarters of Usha. And mind you, they are not married. Now you can imagine in Vedic times a boy and a girl staying together, like today's modern living relationship people talk about. So something like that, of that sort. Aniruddha and Usha are staying together. And it went on for months. Nobody knows about what is happening. For 3-4 months, it's just going on. And then, when all this is happening, she somehow very intelligently hid Aniruddha in her palace. Nobody knew about it except Chitralekha. Nobody knew that he is present in the palace. And then gradually, it so happens that Usha becomes pregnant. And the moment she becomes pregnant, see, the father of Usha is a very learned person. And the moment he sees a certain bodily symptoms in Usha, he understands there is something wrong. He understands that my daughter is pregnant. She's showing all the symptoms of pregnancy. And now there is a discussion. I mean, he goes and asks, what is the thing? I want to know what is happening. And then the truth comes out. And Aniruddha is caught red-handed. Oh, you are here? And I think it was Jambavan. Not Jambavan, somebody else. I forgot the name. So I'm really sorry. So the father of Usha gets really angry, and then he is wanting to wage a war against Dwarka now. And then the news goes to, because they were also searching. Constantly they were searching that where is Aniruddha? Aniruddha is lost for months now. They were not able to find. And now Krishna and Balaram, they both get to know that actually he's here in the palace of Usha. And then they come. And then they come with an army. And when Krishna, Balaram are there with the full army, the father of Usha had a discussion with Krishna and Arjuna. Somehow there was a peace proposal. And finally, without any war, it was all settled because power ultimately, the might is right. And Krishna was very powerful with his army, Narayani Sena and everything he had taken. And Krishna himself is such an expert speaker that he convinced the father of Usha. And both of them, they were perfect match, and it was anyway in the destiny. So they got married. And they got married also, and everything was settled. And when the marriage ceremony was happening, Rukmini was there, and then Chitralekha goes to Rukmini Devi. Chitralekha, when she goes to Rukmini Devi, she tells Rukmini Devi, you have to thank me. Why should I thank you? Because if I had not drawn the image of Aniruddha, Usha probably would marry Krishna. Already had 16,108 wives. She was so attracted to Krishna. It is also thanks to Parvati, because if Parvati wouldn't have told, Usha that you have to marry Aniruddha, she would just marry Krishna. It's only because Parvati had told. Now Rukmini is like, what? What are you talking? She's just a 16-year-old girl. My Krishna, no, Krishna is like a grandfather, He's like in his 80s and 90s. You think that she will be attracted? Yes. Because Krishna is so attractive, he is always ever fresh, like a 16-year-old boy. Even when he is 80, 90 years old, he is very young. A teenage girl getting married to a 80, 90-year-old Krishna. Rukmini was like, oh, this is too much. He's like a grandfather already, and how can he get married? He cannot get married. And then Rukmini goes and, she goes and takes butter. And she takes butter and applies that butter on the mustache of Krishna so that it looks white and people think that he is old. And this pastime is celebrated in Parthasarthi temple in South India. So, they have this festival to celebrate that, putting butter on the face of Krishna so that he looks old. Why I'm saying is, Krishna is so beautiful. He is so young all the time. He looks so beautiful. So, Brahma is saying that the Krishna, the most beautiful, is actually the creator of me also. That is what Brahmaji is saying. And he starts explaining about the different aspects of creation now. So Brahmaji actually speaks about that how this creation, this universe is created. So in the beginning, there is only Mahat Tattva. There is Mahat Tattva. Mahat Tattva, what is Mahat Tattva? Mahat Tattva is the sum total of all the material energy. The complete material energy, the mixture of sum total of all the material energy is called the Mahat Tattva. So when Krishna glances on the Mahat Tattva, the Mahavishnu, when he glances on the Mahat Tattva is agitated. And from that Mahat Tattva, there are these three modes, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. That comes out. And then after the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas is out, everything else falls in place. Everything comes into picture after the Mahat Tattva is created. Okay, then the ego comes in picture. Then there is a false knowledge. Ignorance comes into picture. And the 5 elements, they come into picture. That 5 elements come after the Mahat Tattva, after the false ego is created. Very beautiful. I just want to share a slide probably. With this, you'll get some clarity. Very beautiful. You look at this, 5 elements are created. And the 5 elements, I had shared this before also, but I'm sharing it again. So the 5 elements, after the false ego is created, intelligence is created, and the mind is created. And after all these subtle elements, mind, intelligence and false ego is created, that is when the gross 5 elements are created. So after the mind, the next element, gross element that is created is ether, space. Now space is the most subtlest of all these 5 elements. So we are going from subtle to gross now. So there are the 3 modes. From the 3 modes, then there is false ego. From false ego, there is intelligence. From intelligence, there is mind. From mind, there is ether. Now, ether is, although it is gross, but it's very subtle. And what is ether? The quality of ether is it has sound. It has sound. And then there is, after ether, there is air. Now, air has 2 things. It has sound and it has touch. See the sensation of touch. The sensation of touch is there because we have air element in us. Without the element of air within our body, we cannot have the sensation of touch. The sensation of touch comes from the air element. And there is sound also. Air creates sound. When the fan rotates, it creates that sound. Right? Even now. See, when you whistle, what is that? It's air. Air has sound in it. So air intrinsically has sound. So after air, what happens? Then there is fire. From air comes fire. And fire has what? It has sound, it has touch. Fire we can touch, it burns us, right? So it has touch, and then it has a form. So all the forms that you see, the human form, the animal form, the bird form, the fish form, the forms, any form, it is because of Agni. You may see any of these things, right? Now, if there is a form, the moment you say there is form, there is an element of Agni in it. And you are also, able to see a form because of Agni. Without Agni, you cannot be able to see anything. The forms come because of Agni. From fire, water comes. Just see this. This is completely very different from the scientific knowledge that we have learned in our schools and colleges. From fire, water comes. And then, water has what? Sound in it. Huh? You take a drop of water and put it in a bucket of water. Tipic, tipic, tipic. It makes sound. So, sound is there. And you can touch the water. Every day we take bath, we can touch the water. It has touch in it. It also has form. You see, water, it will take any shape, right? Fire is very random shape, but water, you put it in any vessel, it will take that shape. So it has shape, and water gives us taste. There is one extra thing that added. What is that extra thing added in water? That is taste. Whatever you are able to taste, that taste is because of water element. We cannot have taste without water element. Only when taste is there, water is there, we will be able to taste. That is the beauty. And then from water, earth is created. Earth element. What does earth has? Earth has sound, it has touch. You can touch the earth, right? It has form. It's all these building materials that you can see. You see this glass. It is earth, but it has a form, right? And then taste. You take any fruit or anything, it has taste, right? It is earth material. And then there is smell. Smell is not there in ether, it is not in air. You cannot smell air. You cannot smell the space. You cannot smell the fire. You cannot smell the water, but you can smell the earth. That is the different qualities of these five elements. Getting? But what is common in all these Panchabhuta, in these five elements, is one common thing. Divi, can you tell me what is the common thing here? What is the common thing in all these five elements?
Sound.
Right.
Prabhuji, sound.
Yes, go ahead. So the whole thing, the five elements has one thing in common, and that is sound. And the sound is what we are made up of. See, our body is made up of Panchabhuta, five elements, right? So our body, which is made up of five elements, if you look carefully, it has an intrinsic sound in it. Our body is made up of sound in one sense. Now, if you start listening to the FM radios and all nonsensical movies and this song and that song, and what happens is the more you hear the material sound vibration, the more you become bodily conscious, because the body is made up of sound, material sound, and then you give more material sound to it, you become more bodily conscious. You are bound in this body. So that is why we need a spiritual sound vibration. We need the Hare Krishna mantra, which is spiritual in nature, to take us out of this bodily concept. The bodily concept is gone when this material sound is defeated. We need to defeat this material sound. Right? So you're getting the point? So how scientific this whole process is? Very, very powerful. So that way, Brahmaji goes on to explain a lot of different things about the creation. So how everything comes into picture. And then finally, the Adityas, the Devas, the Ashwini Kumaras, the Indra, Chandra, the Prajapatis, all these different personalities are created one by one, one by one. There is a lot of details. And then how Mahavishnu is so huge, his Virata Rupa, with thousands of legs and arms and mouths and heads, it's very massive. And he divides himself into Hiranyagarbha, this Mahavishnu, in the causal ocean, in the Karana ocean. And many great philosophers, they imagine the complete planetary systems of this universe, upper and the lower, everything. All these planetary systems that we discuss about is all included in the form of Mahavishnu. Everything is there within the form of Mahavishnu. He's so huge, so massive. That's why we also say, right, in the Brahma, the whole Purusha Sukta, the Purusha Sukta, which is actually the next prayer now, in the next chapter, the Purusha Sukta describes that how Brahmanas are the mouth, the Kshatriyas are the arms, then belly is the Vaishyas, the thighs and the legs are the Shudras, what are the upper planetary systems, the middle planetary systems, then the lower planetary systems. All the above the navel, all the upper planetary systems. On the level, there is Bhuloka. And all these below the navel is everything the Patal Loka and the Naraka Lokas, the lower planetary systems. So, like that, many things are explained. So, these are all very beautiful things. Satyaloka, Tapoloka, Janaloka. The people in these top three planets, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka, whenever there is a partial annihilation, when the pralaya happens, they are not disturbed. The top three planets are not destroyed at all. They are always eternal. They remain there. Very powerful. So he's telling, oh Narada, my dear son, from me, that there are seven. I'm telling you that there are lower planetary systems, 7 of them, and out of the total 14, there are 6 on the top, and the middle planetary system is the Earth one. So he goes on to talks about how it starts from Atala. The lower planetary systems, they start from Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and then finally comes the Patala. So there are different planetary systems in the lower level. So Krishna goes on to explain, Brahmaji is explaining all these different things to Narada about creation. There are a lot of technicalities involved, but we will discuss that a little later. And since today is also Shivaratri, so I thought maybe a little bit we can discuss on Shivaratri. That is so important. Hare Krishna Dev, Hare Krishna Vinodji, Hare Krishna Hinamata ji. We also have Dishna joining us. Thank you so much for joining. So we just described and understood that how Narada has actually asked these questions, 5, 6 very important questions about creation to Brahmaji, and Brahmaji is explaining the sequence of events that happened during the creation. Everything is created from the Mahatattva and the 3 modes, and then the false ego, intelligence, mind, and the 5 elements. And of course, then all the different demigods are created, and the lower and the middle and the higher planetary systems are created. So this is all about the creation, right? And interestingly, when we're talking about creation, since today is Shivaratri, I wanted to tell you it's a very auspicious day, and there is a planet of Shiva which is called Kailasha, and this Kailasha is beyond this material sky. There is one Kailasha there. Just after the Brahma Jyoti, as you are entering into the Vaikuntha planets, there is a Kailasha there. So this Shiva, let us understand about Shiva. He's very different personality. Shiva is completely a very different personality. He's Tattva, like there is a Vishnu Tattva, right? Vishnu Tattva, there is Shiva Tattva, there is Shakti Tattva, there is Guru Tattva, and then there is Jiva Tattva. So these are different Tattvas. That's why we talk about Pancha Tattva, right? Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Sri Vasadi, Gaura Bhaktavana. These are the 5 Pancha Tattvas. So now Lord Shiva is one of them. Very powerful personality. And he's a very unique personality. He's an amazing cosmic personality who is a living Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam in action. Lord Shiva is like that. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam explains that Vaishnava Namhi Yata Shambhu. The topmost of Vaishnava is Shambhu. Yeah, Shiva is the greatest of the Vaishnava. And what makes Shiva the great personality? What makes anybody a great personality? The qualities, not his looks or anything like that. The qualities actually make a person great, great personalities. So Lord Shiva, he actually teaches us amazing emotional mastery. He teaches us compassion, leadership, relationships. Hmm? And then how to stay stable in devotion. All these amazing things are actually explained by Shiva. And what is this Shiva Tattva? It is very, very beautifully explained by Brahma in Brahma Samhita. Brahmaji says that Shiram Yata Dadivikara Vishesha Yoga Sanjayate Nahi Tata Pratyagasti Heto Yashambhutamaphi tata samupaityya karya Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So who is the Shiva? Krishna, Brahmaji is saying, Shiram means milk. Yata dadi. Dadi means curd, yogurt. So beautifully, Brahmaji is saying, Shiram is Krishna, Vishnu. And when that milk becomes or transformed into curd, that is Shiva. So Shiva is a transformation of Krishna, a very special, unique tattva. Now you see, milk can become curd, but curd cannot become milk. So Krishna can become Shiva, but Shiva cannot become Krishna. It is irreversible. That's why Shiva Tattva is very special and unique. And it is not like any other Devata. Devatas come under Jiva Tattva. They are Jiva Tattva who, because of their pious activity, they have gained big, big positions like Indra, Chandra, Agni, Vayu. You know, they have gained these big positions because of their tapasya and piety. But Shiva Tattva is not like that. Shiva is completely different. He is like the curd. It's a very different tattva altogether. So here Krishna, Brahmaji is saying that he is different. He is in one sense very close to being Vishnu, but he is not Vishnu. We should never consider Shiva to be the supreme personality of Godhead. He is not the supreme personality of Godhead. That's why one of the second offense of chanting Hare Krishna mantra is what? To consider the names of Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Shiva is not independent. He is not Swarat like Krishna. He is dependent. Why? Because he is cause. He has a cause. And the cause is Krishna. Curd has no independent existence, identity. It is dependent on milk. Right? So that's why Krishna is the supreme and Shiva is the subordinate to Vishnu. This is a very important thing to be known. And Shiva also doesn't like somebody glorifying him to be the supreme. In fact, he cringes when somebody says you're the supreme because he knows that he is not. Right? So we can understand a few, let us try to understand few very important qualities of Shiva. And one of them is that he is called as Ashutosh. Ashutosh means he is very easily pleased. Ashu means quickly, and Santosh, he is immediately pleased by a little effort, little sincere effort you put and do some tapasya. Shiva is pleased. That's the beauty. Shiva quickly blesses. That's why all the people, materialistic people, go to him because he is very easily pleased, even if it is imperfect. You offer him just those Bel Patri or you offer him a little water and heartfelt, prayers, that's enough for him. He will immediately fulfill the desires of all his devotees. That's the speciality. Why? Why does he do it? Why is he pleased so easily? Because he never finds fault in others. What do we do? Even if there is the most qualified person, we try to find faults in that person. Isn't it? That is our nature. But Shiva is so wonderful that he doesn't find faults in anyone. Even if it is imperfect, even if a person is imperfect, he will just bless him. That is how it is. He just looks at how intensely or seriously or sincerely he is praying and worshipping. That's it. And there was a man in a village, he used to go and steal the bells in the temples. He's a very unique thief. He will go into the temple, and in the temple he will steal the bells. That was his profession. So one night he went to a Shiva temple, and he entered the altar, and then he was looking for a bell, and he didn't find a bell. He was looking around, and he saw that, oh, yeah, just there on the top, there is one shelf, and there on the shelf, there is a bell kept. So now he was not able to reach. So he saw that there is a Shivalinga there. And in that night, in the darkness, he could not really understand what is what. He stepped on the Shivalinga to steal that bell. And he took the bill. And when he took the bell and was about to go, Shiva appeared. Shiva appeared with the Trishula, appeared with all the snakes in his neck and all of this. And he was like, oh my God, what did I do? Shiva himself is come here. He was like shocked. He started pleading, please, my Lord, please forgive me. This is my roz ki roti, so I have to manage something. So please forgive me. I will not do this again. And then Shiva started smiling. Shiva smiled and said, see, there are so many people who come to me, and every day they offer me some flowers, they offer me the bel patri, they'll offer me milk, they'll offer me water, all these things. And I become pleased by all these things only. But today, you completely offered yourself to me. He stood on the Shivalinga. Shiva is considering that he didn't take it in offense. He's thinking that this fellow completely offered himself only to me. So I bless you. See how Shiva is? That is why he's called Ashutosh. He's very different personality, very humble personality. So in our life also, we need to actually appreciate people's effort. Many times in family, many times when even in the temple, we're all doing little seva. We should be aware that we should appreciate the little things, little efforts that people are putting. We should encourage anybody who is doing a little bit of seva. We should encourage them. We should never be over-critical about things. Oh, this is not right. That is not right. No. A true leader, a true mentor is one who actually mirrors Shiva, the qualities of Shiva, and then produces thriving hearts. Why? Because when you appreciate someone, then automatically they want to do more. Even if they are imperfect, but they want to do more, they will reach that perfection. So as devotees, we should create that spiritual atmosphere, a very safe spiritual atmosphere for people. And then Shiva is one more name is Bhutanath. He's Ashutosh, but he's also Bhutanath. Bhutanath, why? Because Krishna has given him a very special position. That all good people, we can all take care. But there are a lot of these uncultured hooligans in this universe. You take care of them. And Shiva takes care of all these, bhutas, pishasas, the Nagababas, the Aghoris, all these people worship Shiva. All such people are surrounded. The bhutas, pishasas, the pretas, all these are the close associates. They also want the leader. And who is their leader? Bhutanath. That's why it's called Bhutanath. Wherever Bhutanath, Lord Shiva goes, these people follow. And Lord Shiva's favorite time of going for a evening walk, that is with Parvati, he goes for a universal evening walk. And when he goes for a evening walk, all these bhutas, pishasas, everybody, they come along with him. That's why, don't do any auspicious things. Auspicious things in the sense, any adharma during this time. Because if you're doing adharma during this evening time, the bhuta pishasa, they take very good advantage of you. Because they're all roaming around. And if you're nicely lighting up the diyas in the evening, worshipping the Lord, doing kirtan, Lord Shiva is very pleased in the evening time. That's why that was the Indian culture. In the evening, they'll listen to Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Srimad Ramayana, Mahabharata. That's the culture. Because Shiva is coming with all the bhutas and pretas. He's like that. He's aesthetic. Basically, what he doesn't have, he has everything. He still lives a simple life. Humility. Beautiful quality of Lord Shiva. Swayam Mahesho Shashro Nagesha Sakha Dhanesha Taneeva Ganesha Tatapi Bhiksha Taneme Shambhu Bali Yasi Ishvara Ichha. Lord Shiva, he gives all the wealth, prosperity, everything to his own people. But you look at him, he's so simple, living in a smashana. And what is that? He has Swayam Mahesha. He is so powerful that he can get all the wealth. But no, you'll put ash and he'll be very simple. And who? Shasharo Nagesha. Shasharo means his father-in-law is who? Himavat. Himavat Parvat is the father-in-law of Shiva because Himavat Parvat has given the daughter Parvati to him, right? So, such a great mountain is the father-in-law. Sakha Dhanesha. Kubera is his friend. Next to Kailasha is Kubera Sthana. So Kubera and they are both like neighbors. Shiva are neighbors. Very close friend. Taneva Ganesha. Such a powerful Ganesha is also the son of. But still, what is Shambhu doing? Bhiksha Tanema Shambhu. Bali yes Ishvara Ichha. I will beg for Krishna. I'm ready to beg for Krishna. That is the mood of Shiva. Look at the humility of Shiva. So beautiful it is. Are we like that? He has everything, but still he wants to beg for Krishna. Because Bali is Ishvara Ichha. Ishvara's Ichha, Krishna's Ichha, desire is more powerful than anything. That is known to Shiva. That is so beautiful. That's why he doesn't have any home. He's like anywhere in the Smashan Ghat in the mountains, somewhere he'll stay without any shelter. Now all alone is okay, understandable. Now he has wife also, Parvati. Now Parvati is fed up. She got annoyed. What is this? We are husband and wife. We don't have a proper shelter. We don't have any house also. Oh, then Lord Shiva realized, yes, now I'm married. I should have something. We should have a house. And just by his yogic siddhi, he created a very beautiful house. Amazing palatial building he created. And Parvati is now very happy and they had this housewarming ceremony. They called all the devatas, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, everybody is there. They all came and Parvati personally cooked all the big feast. She's an amazing cook. And everybody was so happy. They got the feast and everything enjoyed. And they all one by one, they left back to their abodes. And then last everything when they're all giving the hospitality and giving the tambula. And that's when one Brahmana comes and then takes the tambula and then looks at Shiva and says, Lord Shiva, what an amazing palace you have. Beautiful house. The moment that Brahmana says this, Lord Shiva says, Parvati, please pack up our bags. And tells, let's go back again where we were before. Now I'm donating this beautiful house to this Brahmana. Because this Brahmana said such a beautiful house. Shiva said, okay, I think he deserves it more. And he gave it off. They had a housewarming ceremony and the next moment it is like donated. Can you imagine Shiva and Parvati is like, what? Going back again without any shelter. This is how detached he is. That is how, now over a period of time when Parvati has adjusted to the Himalayan mountains, no shelter. Her shelter is Shiva, actually. So, all the powerful beings, they beg before, they come and bow down to Shiva. And what he does is wearing ashes. He sits on a animal skin. He always is there on the cremation grounds. And he owns almost nothing. Still the devatas, they worship him. Why? Because Shiva's identity is rooted not in some social status. He is rooted in his spiritual identity. Shiva has nothing to prove. His true humility is his real self-esteem. He has no low self-esteem, nothing like that. And he has so much of freedom. Because there is freedom from self-importance. He never makes himself very big. He never claims himself to be very big. For us, this is so important in day-to-day life. We are all looking for recognition. We are trying to, little bit of sacrifice we do, we advertise it so much. And we expect so much of appreciation also. So much expectation is there. Look at Shiva. He doesn't care. He just gives. He just serves. That is how it is. He remains very simple. Even when people respect him, it's very simple. No demand for high quality treatment, because I'm in a special position. No, he will serve quietly and very nicely shine inwards. Huh? Internally shining. That's why we should also ask ourselves, what is that? We should ask ourselves, are we also looking for some external validation from people that I want to be such a such thing? If you're depending on external validation, then you will never be happy. Right? Shiva is not like that. So next, she is Ashutosh, she is Bhutanath, he is having that humility, and then compassion and sacrifice. You all have heard about this Samudra Mantana. Samudra Manthan, such a powerful pastime actually, and understanding the Samudra Manthan is so important. Look at Samudra Manthan, the Devatas, and who else? The Rakshasas, Daityas, they all came together to churn, right? They're doing this Manthan, and the very first thing that they came out of that Manthan was the poison, the halahala, the kalakuta poison. And this halahala poison is so intense. Forget about taking it, forget about touching it, just the fumes of it. If you just inhale the fumes, we will faint or probably die. That powerful it is, extremely powerful poison it is. We cannot handle it. Nobody could handle it. They were all just by the fumes, they were all having the fear, they were all feeling uncomfortable. Devatas and the Daityas. That was the kind of a situation, and somebody has to take it. If spills anywhere, then it's a big problem. No one could handle it. And seeing everyone helpless, Lord Shiva stepped forward voluntarily and drank that poison to save and protect the universe. And when he drank it, Parvati came and somehow held the throat, and it remained there. And then that's how his throat turned blue, and that's why he's called Neelakanta, blue-throated. He has a blue throat. Now, Lord Shiva he drank the poison, and he didn't forward it to anyone. People these days, any negative message in WhatsApp, we forward, tuck, 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 tuck. Now he's drinking the poison. He didn't forward it to others. He kept it to himself. Or he didn't open a new WhatsApp group. Who hurt me today? Nothing like that. Lord Shiva is very simple. He just held it there. This is having a deep spiritual psychology here involved. See, at this point of time, Shiva is not asking who caused this. He's not analyzing the blame. Oh, the Devatas were greedy, the Daityas were greedy, they both participate. Why should I suffer? No. He simply saw the suffering and he pitched in. He responded to the problem. It is nothing to do with this whole Manthan was nothing to do with him. Still, when he saw that there is a problem, he immediately jumped forward. That is spiritual maturity. That spiritual maturity from who created this mess, from that to how can I serve? How can I serve others? Look at this. There might be problems in life, but instead of forwarding it to somebody else, we immediately, when there is a problem, we want to forward it to the whole world. No, how can you find a solution to it? That is Shiva's, mood. When something goes wrong in our life also, we should have that advanced maturity in us. He absorbed the poison, but he did not swallow it also. One is, see, advanced maturity is what? He did not forward it to anyone. Another thing, he also personally did not allow the poison to go deep to his heart. It's extremely important to understand. Many times when there is bitterness, when there are some problems, people take it to heart. And because of that, they turn to be become very agitated, stubborn. Throat is like a expression center, and heart is like a identity center. Throat, you can express a lot of things. Shiva did not dump all the poison outwards in the form of anger, in the form of harsh words. Neither did he suppress all that poison within in form of resentment and bitterness. No, he was consciously holding, prayerfully holding until that poison loses its potency. Now that is emotional mastery. We should learn Many times when negativity comes, we want to pour it on others. And sometimes we are not able to, we keep it to ourselves, it goes deep into our heart, and then we become bitter. Right? And Shiva was silently suffering, going through the pain. He didn't make a big announcement. Neither he expected some big appreciation. It's a quiet sacrifice. So we should learn these things from Shiva. Very important. Now, practical application for us. Many times there is a project, deadlines are there. It becomes very stressful. Instead of spreading that tension to all the teammates, your family members, you can try to absorb. Speak calmly and try to make the atmosphere peaceful. That is Nilkanta consciousness. So we should develop this Nilkanta consciousness, not try to spread negativity like today's journalists. Everywhere they speak about negativity all the time. So powerful question that sometimes we have to ask, can I hold this for Krishna? There is a discomfort, but can I hold it for Krishna? The moment you ask this question, right, that pain is transformed into offering automatically. So this is how our mood should be. So we should bring this compassion and detachment together. There are so many qualities we can go on and on. Daksha's episode. Daksha insulted Shiva like anything. He's a father-in-law. And father-in-law is insulting, talking ill about the appearance of Shiva, humiliated him before others. But Shiva did not argue, did not defend himself. He did not counterattack. He simply left the place. Simply left the place. Because his identity is not coming from anybody's approval, social approval, so social validation, nothing. Shiva's identity is anchored to Vishnu Bhakti. And that's why he's confident. He, at that point when Daksha was actually hurting him so much, tried to hurt him basically, he did not defend his ego. He just protected his consciousness and left. That's it. So many times when we also go through some difficult criticism like this or insults like this, we should learn from Shiva. Don't talk back. Don't counterattack. Don't defend your ego. Just leave that place. That's it. And now leaving the place doesn't mean that you have to be cold, not that you have to suppress your feelings, not that you have to become indifferent to things. No. It only means that you have a strong connection with Krishna. That is what is. Your self-worth is coming because of your strong connection with Krishna, not because of people's opinion. This is something that you should know. I am the servant of Narayana. That is enough. Shiva is so confirmed about this. And when you are confirmed that, yes, I am the servant of Narayana, no insults can penetrate you. No insults can come within you. This is something that we should know. That's why Bhagavad Gita 2.57, there is a verse very beautifully. It says that, Yas sarvatra nabhinas snehas tat tat prapya shubha shubham nabhinandanti na dveshti tasya prajna pratishtita. In this material world, one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil, he may obtain neither praising it nor despising it. He is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. If you want to be in perfect knowledge, you should not be bothered about the good and evil that is happening in this world. You should be stable. Right? So this is a lesson for us. Shiva sometimes also wants people to misunderstand him. He wants people to fear him. He allows people to mock at him also. He doesn't manage his image, the social image. There are these days, there are people to maintain your image, create a certain image. People work behind this. Shiva is least bothered about his social media image or any image, universal image he has, but still he is not bothered. When once Lord Shiva got attracted to a beautiful woman, and he was like so attracted. His eyes were like, oh my God, such a beautiful woman. His jaws are dropping looking at the beauty of that woman. And then he's just running like a lampata behind this woman. And this woman is going through the market and he's going through the markets. Just running behind this woman. And people are offering Lord Shiva some flowers and leaves and everything. He's holding those leaves and flowers and everything to give to this woman. And he's walking in the streets of Kashi. Kashi is like a headquarters of Shiva. And people, they worship Shiva there. And there people of Kashi are seeing, oh, he's Shiva, we worship him. And he's like running behind a woman. But Shiva is very clear. This woman is Mohini Avatara. He is Narayana. So he knows the truth. And he is least bothered what people think about. His own followers may misunderstand him. Shiva is least bothered. He is not at all bothered about what people think because he is established in truth. He is not established in reputation. That's why this is all very relevant today for us. We don't care about the truth. We only care for all the nonsensical things happening. So when criticized, when we are criticized, we should not rush to justify. Oh, I am right. No, sit quietly. Ask yourself: is there an element of truth in it? If there is truth, then you should improve yourself. If there is no truth in that criticism, then just release it. Don't get agitated, right? You ask yourself: if this criticism is happening, will Krishna be happy the way I respond? If it is not, you ask yourself, what response should be there? To please Krishna or to serve my pride? If it is serving my pride, no, let me step back. Let be very humble, right? So this is how our mood should be. If anybody is actually criticizing, insulting us, if it is touching your ego or my service, you should ask this: is it touching my ego or my service? If it is touching your ego, let it go. If it is touching your service, affecting your service, then respond calmly. That's it. Simple. So there are many things like that. So Shiva always is meditating on the Supreme Lord. That's why he's telling Parvati also, Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanani. This is told by Shiva, constantly chanting the names of Rama. Constantly chanting the name of Rama. Right? So even when we chant Shiva's name, Shiva generally is glorified by the Panchakshari mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya is a Panchakshari mantra through which Shiva is glorified. But should we chant it now to glorify Shiva? Not necessary. Why not necessary for the Vaishnavas? Because one is Shiva, when glorified, he personally doesn't like it because he is not supreme, he knows. But even if somebody is worshipping, he should be a Brahmana, qualified Brahmana, because it's a Vedic mantra. Omkara is there. We cannot chant it anyway. So then what do we do? How do we glorify Shiva? We are anyway chanting the Panchatattva mantra. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita. Advaita Acharya is actually a Shiva Tattva. Is a combination of Mahavishnu and there is an Amsha of Shiva in Advaita Acharya. Chaitanya Charitamrita says this. So that's why we are anyway, by chanting Panchatattva mantra, we are actually worshipping Shiva also directly. So we don't have to worry about separately chanting the Om Namah Shivaya because Panchatattva mantra is all covered there. So Shiva is very powerful personality and he is actually a living Bhagavad Gita. He lives Bhagavad Gita day in and out. So we should worship and take his blessing because he's the greatest Vaishnava. We should try to imbibe these qualities within our life. Very, very important. So focus on these different qualities, try to analyze these things. There are many beautiful things actually to be spoken about Lord Shiva, how he controlled the Tripurasura. And when, Bhasmasura came, Bhasmasura took blessings from Shiva and to test that blessing, he wanted to burn Shiva only. Now, do you think Shiva is not powerful enough to kill Bhasmasura? He was capable. But then Shiva, so intelligent he is, he wants to teach the world Krishna Bhakti and he wants to teach the world how to surrender to Krishna. So he runs behind out of fear of Bhasmasura and goes take shelter of Krishna, please protect me. And then Krishna comes and dances in a form of a Mohini and then Bhasmasura, he keeps a hand on his head and he dies. Now Shiva could have finished all these things, but then he's showing even in difficulties, you should surrender. He's so dependent on Krishna. He's teaching all of us. Okay, good, very nice. Any questions, anything that you want to ask, share, anything? So for now, this is the time that is working for me because other times are little conflicting with other sessions and things like that. So I thought of Saturday morning for you, but then Friday evening I have some sessions at some colleges here. And Saturday evening also there are some sessions and Sunday evening again. Some, one-on-one sessions and all of those things. So this is the time I think we can go ahead. Hope this This is fine for all of you this time, 4:30 in the evening. For now, if there is any change during weekdays, if it is possible, please let me know. If weekdays also in the evening you want the Bhagavatam class, then we can, weekdays, no problem. Only weekends is going to be little tough, but weekdays evening, we can actually plan. Maybe after 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 8 p.m., 8 to 9, sometimes we can have Bhagavatam class in the evening. So let me know if that is possible. So Krishna is asking, why does everyone celebrate Mahashivratri? There is a very beautiful pastime to Mahashivratri. Now, this Mahashivratri comes in the Maghamasa, Krishna Paksha, the Chaturdashi. So, Shukla Paksha, Chaturdashi, so 14th day in the Maghamasa. So, Shivratri on this day, there are many reasons, but one of the reasons there is a beautiful pastime actually, which will take a little longer. I will explain to you that separately. There's a very long story about Shivratri. But Shivratri, people generally fast on Shivratri because there was a hunter. He used to, in brief, I'll just mention, there was a hunter who used to hunt and feed his family. And without hunting, he could not. Hunting was a very prime business for him. He used to take pleasure in hunting also. One night, he sat on a tree and then he was looking. He didn't want to go empty handed. He was trying, but he didn't get any animal to shoot at, hunt for. And then he was waiting under a tree. And finally, near the pond, he saw that there's a deer that comes. And then he took an arrow, jumped down. Moment he jumped down, some leaves were there. They fell on the Shivlinga which was there below. And he offered unknowingly, the leaves fell on that. And then he tried to shoot that deer. Then deer started speaking. Oh, no, please don't kill me. I have my family there. I will come back to you. I'll just inform them and I'll come back. They should not be worried. He said, no, nothing doing. You will not come. No, I'll come. Please. Then the deer goes and he says, okay, theek hai. So he was not really willing to, but then he sends a deer. Then by the time this deer goes, he's still waiting. And there was another family member of the deer who was thinking, why my mother has not come? And then she goes, this daughter goes out, the dear daughter goes and then then finds this pond, and this fellow sees, oh, now there's another deer. Goes and tries to shoot. Then she's, oh, so wait, don't kill me. I have to inform my family, otherwise they'll be worried. I'll definitely come back to you. And when he jumps for the second time, again some leaves fall on the Shivlinga. And then the male, the staff, he wants to come and understand. He gets to know that this is a hunter and who has come. They both say, I'll go. The family members are thinking, I'll go. I have promised. The staff says nothing. You all stay here. You have to take care of the children. I'll go and I'll sacrifice my life. And then he goes there. And then near the pond, when the staff is actually comes, and then this deer is there, this hunter jumps again the leaves fall down on the Shivlinga. And all this time he is not eaten, he's all hungry. And then he wants to kill the staff. And when he aims and is about to shoot, that's when the Lord Shiva appears and tells immediately to him, stop this. Nothing doing. You cannot kill these animals. I'm very pleased with you. I'm like, what pleased? Yeah, I'm very pleased because knowingly and unknowingly you offered me Bel Patri. And I'm so happy with you. And it was actually Shivratri today, and you have fasted on Shivratri. Sitting on this Belpatri, you have fasted. So you, because of this little seva that you have done to me, you will attain Krishna. You will have an opportunity to meet Lord Rama personally. And this very same person becomes Guha. He becomes a friend of Rama when Rama is on exile. So this hunter is the Guha, none other than Guha, who meets Lord Rama later and protects Rama. So this is the blessing Lord Shiva. And actually this is how Shiva actually, when you pray to him, he actually directs. He directs you to Krishna. That is Vaishnava. Vaishnava Nami Yata Shambhu. That is the beauty of Lord Shiva. When you become a devotee of Shiva, recently, just day before yesterday, I had been to MIT and I was taking a session. So there was a girl, she said, actually, I was talking to, I used to pray and worship Lord Shiva before. But somehow, the more I prayed to him, I got connected to Krishna more and more. And that's why I started coming to these sessions. So she said, actually, Lord Shiva helped me to come get closer to Krishna. And it is a fact. Even before coming to Krishna consciousness, I used to go to Shiva temple and I used to go to Hanumanji's temple, who is also a partial incarnation of Shiva. When you go and pray to these great Vaishnavas like Shiva and Hanuman, please help me understand the absolute truth. Please help me understand what is the real truth. When you pray like this, they immediately direct you to Krishna. So that's the beauty of Lord Shiva. Okay, so that was just a brief. There are so many details, but I just explained in brief. Hope that gave you some excitement. And actually, since then, that precedence of fasting came. Because he fasted a whole night, that's how that precedence has come now, fasting on Shivratri. Okay, so we'll discuss again and we'll stay in touch. If you have any questions, you can personally get in touch and ask me on the WhatsApp group. So we'll get again some more updates. I'll keep you updated and posted of what is happening here. WFM, before you joined, there is WFM World Food Movement. We are starting next week for some college students here because people are on campus hungry. They are really having no proper food. So we are starting free food meals, lunch meals to these people, the students here. And we are trying to work around many things, even get the funds and all those things. And from today, we are starting Soulful Sunday. Beautiful Sunday sessions for all the people here who want to build a community. So that is starting from today. So thank you very much for joining today. We'll meet again. Take care. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Take care.